All right, ladies and gentlemen, let us waste no more time. It is the beginning of round 2 of the Spider-Man Any Percent Speedrun Tournament. Welcome, welcome, one and all. We are back for round 2. Round 1 concluded just last week. And wait, did it conclude last week? Guys, I'm so sorry. I don't even know what day it is. Like, I'm so lost. Yes, it concluded a couple of days ago. And now we're here for round 2. Very excited. It is midnight for me, so if I start talking nonsense, it's because I should be in bed, realistically. But we're committed to the cause, and the cause is Spider-Man races. And today, we have two great competitors on the line for all the glory in round 2. It's the Flying Felicia versus Chuck Nicey. Now, I think the best place to start, of course, is the stats. Now, the stats. Let's take a look. So, a few stats have changed, and we've replaced some stats. For example, we've replaced best race time has now been subbed in over the top of best any percent time just in general, because I think that's more interesting to compare. So if we look at both races today, Chuck, unfortunately, did not win his match, but Felicia did. And so we've got similar comparable times. Felicia's time does come in a bit faster at 35.16 on their race previously to this. Chuck's at 38.23, not far off. Not far off. So I think this will be a really competitive race. Again, favourite levels, scale the girders. We saw Chuck attempt the girders skip, the flying spider, on his attempt. Unfortunately, it didn't go his way. Will it go his way today? Well, now that we've seen the stats and now you're a bit more familiar with our runners, maybe we should look at some of the highlights. So what I'm thinking is, guys, we've put together some highlights from the previous runs. I'm going to talk through just what it is that they did well last time and what could be improved and potentially done better in this race today. So let's take a quick look at some of the highlights, shall we? So, first up, it's Felicia's highlights. So we can see in this first one, a very smooth saving hostages in the bank. Very smooth, got in out of bounds straight away. Managed to get straight over here pretty simply. No risky business there. Round the corner, both hostages caught, and straight down. And now the unfortunate thing was, and maybe not unfortunate because it was still a one cycle, but this is a very dangerous way of doing the Scorpion boss fight. The jumping, the combo is not quite right. The combo is not quite optimal. It's you want to do, there you go, the kick punch. And on the very last frame, just before Jonah runs in, Felicia did actually get the one cycle. So lucky this time. Maybe not so lucky next time. Something to keep an eye on. Rhino. Will Rhino be less mean this time? Felicia got a couple of punches to the face, and it was a bit unfortunate. So Rhino, potentially an opportunity for things to be a bit smoother for Felicia coming into this race. Look at him, so cruel. Just punching everywhere. Now, something that went really well for Felicia as well in the previous race was the gate here in sewer entrance. So, very cleanly, through, hits the button, but what didn't she do? Zip. No zip. Okay, so potentially a bit of time save there. Can be zips. Now, one thing also that we noticed from Felicia's last run is safety. Safety strats. Making sure that there's absolutely no risk of falling into that water because there was no zips really. They tried initially to get some zips, didn't quite work out, and so opted to take the 2 cycle in the tunnel crawl here, which I think probably quite wise. I don't think they'd have made it across in 1 cycle. So smart here. So safety in water. Will there be a 1 cycle this time? Will they continue to try and stay safe in the water? Same again as well on Lizard Maze. There was no zipping, just a lot of crawling to get to the first section of the Lizard Maze before you fly yourself through the wall. So it's all very safe from Felicia. So still a very, very good time to say they kept it safe for a lot of this race. So we'll see. Now this one, very good. A very good recovery and a good example of sticking to your guns even though you might think, oh, maybe it's quicker just to do like the no-skips route. So look, we see here, Felicia failed the out of bounds the first time, but second time's the charm, it seems, because under they go and swing right up to the other side. Brilliant. So a good example there of Felicia's tenacity in sticking to their guns and getting the skips done. Now, an excellent example of a good boss fight here as well. Mysterio who? Who is this guy? Boss fight? Nah, easy. Felicia flying through this one. A good example of the way to do Mysterio. I think the best way you do the aiming and just aim at all the buttons. I think far superior to jumping up and down. And warehouse skip. We got a warehouse skip as well out of Felicia. This is really, really good. Obviously, this saves a lot of time because this level is quite long, actually, which you might not really notice as you're running it. But in comparison to this, very, very long, this level. And so this came down to the wire for a few people. This particular skip is what pulled some people ahead, maintained the lead. So warehouse skip, I think, an essential for both runners today. We'll see if either of them hit it. And now, one cycle Dr. Octopus has only been done twice, I believe, this entire tournament. I could be wrong on that, but I believe only myself and Sotalia have hit the one cycle in Dr. Octopus. So, will we see any of these other runners attempt that today? Now, on to Chuck's highlights. Chuck, we mentioned earlier, Flying Spider, went for the Flying Spider attempt on Scale the Girders. Unfortunate not to hit it there, and then opted just to crack back on with the usual technique, but maybe we'll see the Flying Spider this time. We shall see. We shall see. Hopefully so. We'll have a good Flying Spider. Now, the God Pipes. Sheesh. Look at him fly through these pipes. Couldn't get any better than that. Boom. Look at him. Very impressed with that as well. So, we know a man of pipes. And we also know that he studies hard. Now, this is very important. I think was very important to include in the highlights. A man who studies his opponent. Studying Venom there. Maybe have studied Felicia before this as well to see what to do better. Now, we looked at Felicia's tunnel crawl. Now, if we look at Chuck's tunnel crawl, still went for the one cycle, but as you'll see at the end of this clip, it doesn't quite pay off for him. So today, this will be a level to watch, the tunnel crawl section for both runners. Will either of them manage the one cycle this time? So you can see struggling. Unfortunate there. So to zip or not to zip, that is the question for this race. And now this one I just thought was really interesting because he gets in position and then just swings straight across like no one's business. So I just thought that was really good. So can he do that again? That was quite fast. If you can do that again, that'd be great. Okay, Bugle Trouble. Now we saw Felicia hit this. Chuck did not unfortunately hit this. It goes through, goes under first time, but doesn't quite come up on the other side of the wall, and so at this point opted to go then for the no skips route. So hoping for better luck this time for Chuck. But on the other hand, Elevator was excellent. Straight through and straight down and straight into the button. Excellent example of the elevator skip there. And a clean presses 2. Look, you can see straight into that, falls straight down. No funny business there. So hoping to replicate that again. Now these trio of levels were quite good for Chuck until, unfortunately, a bit of bad luck on Bugle Basement. Now you can see recovered that swing because that swing would have brought him in bounds and managed to zip all the way nearly to the point where the level had stayed deloaded, but unfortunately didn't work out for him now. And now another good example of Mysterio. Both runners, it seems, very, very good at the Mysterio levels in particular. So this, I'm sure, will be an interesting one. Who can do Mysterio faster in this method of killing Mysterio? Should be an interesting one to see. I think. So we'll keep an eye on that to see if they both stick to the same method. Maybe they'll mix it up. I'm not sure they will mix it up. I think this was a tried and tested method that went really well. And an unfortunate end. Now this, Zoe's and Chuck's race really came down to the wire. And Chuck was ahead at this point. But unfortunately it had some mishaps with the skip there in Waterfront Warehouse. And so this could be the time, potentially, for him to take that skip by the reins, by the neck, and show it to his boss. So I think it's time to actually watch both runners. What do we think, guys? I think it's time to go in. So we can see both runners ready on the main menu screen. We'll just give them a quick ready check. And we'll start in just a couple of seconds, guys. So a very exciting race. Both runners here, ready to go. Now, Place your bets, everyone. Who do you think is going to win? I really think this is going to be a close race. I'm really excited to see this one, to be honest. So, both competitors are ready. Let's count them down. Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Go, go, go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are off. Okay, a little bit of a late start on Felicia's timer, but that's okay. We'll still get a rough kind of idea of who's ahead, because they both start just about the same time, so it's not too bad. Okay, so the question is already on this first level, which skips will they go for? Which route, sorry, I should say, will they go for? Are they both going to keep it safe? It looks like they will, opting for the route that takes you into this building here and around the front of this building. You can see both competitors getting there roughly the same time. There we go, excellent swings. Straight into the next level. Looking good so far. Both competitors pretty neck and neck. No real difference between either at the minute. Okay, Chuck heading now up and away to the bank. Felicia doing the same. Now let's see. Chuck gets first attempt at this little insta-kill. Web dome. One web ball. Should finish them all off. And does. Okay, Felicia, can she replicate that? 1, 2. Okay, we get the 2. But very fast, very fast. And down we go. Okay, the first major skip of the game coming up right now. Let's have a see. Hostage situation. Chuck. Straight in. Does manage it. A bit. Oh, no. Wait. Oh. I thought he'd, like, died there, but actually managed to save it. I did not know you could save that from that position. So, very interesting. Very interesting. Felicia has managed it, the skip too. Has managed to load in the level more so than Chuck has. But Chuck, a great recovery. And he's still continuing on. This is looking real good. Real good for Chuck. Managed to recover that really well. Felicia at the same point. Making the way into the second room. Really nice. Chuck, look at that. The relief on his face. He wasn't sure about that one. But great recovery. Unfortunate shots being fired at Felicia there. Getting caught by the bullets a few times. But looking good so far for both runners. This, I think, does place Chuck just slightly in the lead. But again, it's probably too close to tell just because of the timers and the slight differential in starting. So, for all intents and purposes, they're both tied at the minute. Now, Chuck having a little bit of trouble with the door, but it does let him through eventually. Thank goodness for that. Felicia in the same position now. Trying to get through this door. There we go. Has made it through. Web gloves. Love that. Okay, now let's have a see. Who gets the faster bomb? That's the first win. Who gets the faster bomb? Here we go. Let's see. Gonna get a case of 134. Oh, 135. Okay, fair play. Right, we got a 135 on Chuck. Let's have a see. Felicia. Can they beat 135? It doesn't look like it. Okay, so Chuck claims the bomb victory. Very important. Very important. Okay, so I do believe, as a result of that, Felicia struggling a little bit on the bomb there. Chuck, I'm going to call as in the lead currently. So let's change that on the overlay to reflect that. Chuck's very slightly in the lead, but not by much at all. Still anyone's game at this point. Some nice swings as we make our way over to the bugle. A couple of gunshots. Love getting shot in the back. Good fun. Spider-Man, though, an absolute unit. Can take those bullets any day of the week. And now, let's see. This little bit of swinging now. Very crucial bit of movement tech. Oh, some nice swings there. Oh, a bit low, though. Chuck cutting it a bit low. Couldn't quite find a second swing there to the second building. Recovers it nicely, though. And he's up. Smooth as you like. Brilliant. All right, Felicia doing the same. Swings are a bit smoother than Chuck. It's looking good. Has made it all the way over to the third building straight away. And now both competitors are on Scorpion. So let's see. Scorpion 1 cycle is what we're hoping for both runners. Jameson playing nice, it looks like, on Chuck's side. Running to the desk, which is a nice place to be because it gives you plenty of time to kill Scorpion. With Jameson getting nowhere near the doors. Brilliant. 1 cycle for Chuck. Let's see. Felicia. Ah, so here we go. Felicia. Again, not too smooth on the Scorpion boss fight. It looks like Jameson is staying put, though. And does still manage the one cycle. It is slower than Chuck's version of the one cycle, but one cycle nonetheless. So very good from both competitors. We bet one cycle. Excellent stuff. Whoa, okay. Chuck with a nice zip. Let's go. I love it when you get like random zips on these levels. You can never predict when it's going to happen, but when it does, it always feels great. So Chuck taking a nice route to the end of this level. Felicia doing the same. I like this kind of like diagonal adaptation of this level. I think obviously much faster if you're moving. You don't want to be moving forwards then go right. I think diagonal is the way to go. So it's looking very good. Both competitors taking it nice and easy. Chuck now climbing this building in a great position. So far ahead of the pack. But again, a lot of these levels, as we learnt from round one, and if you're just a general fan of this game and this speedrun in general, you'll know that the movement tech really is all that's at play here. Up until really we get to the sewer levels. So it's all down to Chuck to maintain his lead currently. Until Felicia and Chuck both reach the sewers. Okay, Felicia taking a bit of time on this last little zip there. Chuck now, nice swings. There we go, making his way over to the billboard there. Swing onto the billboard. And into the skyscraper. Looking good. Now, this is always a cool thing. I want to see, can anyone swing through the yellow windows before they break? Oh no, Chuck can't do it this time. That's fine. Oh, we got a sandwall skip. Sign Chuck up for Enter Electro tournament, I think. He'll be straight through those sandwalls with those ones. Very good. Okay. Ooh. Nearly. Okay, Chuck. Looking good, though. He's a bit scared. You can see in his face. Some nice swings by Felicia to make it through to the other side of that building. Okay, now this is where we ask the question. Flying spider. Yes, he's going to go for it. Let's go. Okay, this time. Will he hit it? I'm very excited. Let's go. Let's see if it works. Finds the green. Oh, doesn't quite get it again. Unfortunate swings to the construction site instead. So really unfortunate. It tries for it again. Appreciate the attempt, though. You've got to love the attempt. So both competitors just taking the casual route of just skipping the cutscene here. Oh, no! Accidentally swings at the end there. Easy to do, actually. A lot easier to do than I think people realise. But I think that does bring both competitors now level. That slight mistake from Chuck brings them level. And now, the last level before we hit Rhino. Let's have to see how smooth both competitors can be now. Again, movement tech playing all the parts now in keeping either a runner ahead or for them to regain first place. So Chuck opting to go above and over the skyscrapers, whereas Felicia going round the side. Round the side is definitely faster. So as long as Felicia nails this, they'll have brought the lead back to level. Okay, Chuck falls down a little bit, but makes his way over to the building nice and smoothly. But Felicia does make it to the end much quicker. And so I think Felicia is in the lead. Oh, but Chuck, oh, I got a bit scared for Chuck there. Was a bit scary, but he saved it. Now,
we are looking tied up as the caster that was supposed to be here is completely late and my plans got canceled, so I am here.
Let's go, guys. We are joined in the casting booth by Willy Fetty for the first time this tournament. Willy Fetty, welcome to Rhino.
So you guys, for people who haven't seen the rest of these runs, this is the second round of the seeding, as Spyron probably said. But you were going to see completely two different strats here, which is Chuck going for web gloves, which is faster if you land it correctly and not get hit, while Felicia went for web dome. So
Yeah, looking good. Felicia executed that really, really well as well. No punches this time.
we are all tied up, gentlemen.
Yeah,
We
it's
are
looking
all
good.
tied up.
Looking really good at the minute. Both competitors, again, more movement tech. It's all about the movement for these next couple of levels.
It looks like they both did watch the tutorial. Link is in our Discord. Anyway, so from what I saw from Chuck last time, he likes to take the outside of the buildings, which is something that I try to teach new runners in order to get their movement right. Uh, honestly, in all reality, the AI for Venom here, if anyone doesn't know, the AI for Venom here is just about pushing it forward. You want to be ahead of Venom slightly so you can just push him forward. So
Exactly.
there is the only time save you can possibly have is getting to the end before Venom, and is really risky because Venom will glitch out. So you're going to see probably both of our runners here getting there after Venom, and just to make sure that Venom will swing into that building, because that is a soft lock if you do not.
Yeah, the timing's quite precise on if you want to like really push the timing on that and get Venom to jump in like just after you've gone up, basically. Between that or him just not jumping at all. So yeah, if you really want to push that, it's worth maybe playing in the lab, as they say, and practicing that. But for the most part, you just want to play that as safe as possible because it's not worth soft locking this level.
Yeah, and honestly, like I don't know how many times I've soft locked this level in general, and how many times speedrunners have soft locked this in general. So it really is courteous to play it safe. And Spyron, I think you're the one who brought this to everyone's attention. If you are fast enough on this part, we usually talk about, hey, getting in front of Venom and basically trying to get to that last cutscene trigger before Venom to save a whole bunch of time, because the cutscene will trigger without Venom being here on these last buildings. But
Mm-hmm.
looks like Felicia is playing it a little bit safe, so that way they can, not fall and die and waste 2 minutes, while Chuck went for the risky route and ended up there after Venom. They're both very comparable in this time, but for people who don't know, you actually can outrun Venom by being too far ahead of him in these levels.
Yeah, it's
So
true. If you're really fast at that end, but you can just about outrun him, which is unfortunate because you climb up the building into the cutscene and then you lose him during the cutscene, which is like right at the end, obviously. So, not the best time to lose him because it just means you have to start the whole level again.
Also, another good thing, if you haven't been watching, since this is a PS1 tournament, no one's using the hot zones. There are hot zones for this level and the second level, but as you can see, Felicia is through Venom, and Chuck is about to be through Venom. The thing about PlayStation compared to other platforms is that we have a button called L2 on our controller, left trigger, and it locks us on directly to Venom.
Yeah, the only reason the PlayStation version is the best one. We take that. We take the small victories where we can.
But yeah, no, Chuck is flying through this and keeping up pace with Felicia. I am actually very surprised that these runners are pushing, like, they honestly looks like they're pushing themselves to their very limit right now.
Yeah, it's basically in sync now as we swing over the cavern. We'll see if either one takes a risky route. It looks like both are just going over the top of the pipes, which is very smart. You don't want to die again in this area. You don't want to die at all,
Ooh,
ideally.
good zip, Felicia. Good zip. That was a
Yeah.
very good zip. For anybody who doesn't know the mechanics of this game, there are runners who decide to swing under the pipes and zip up, which is, I don't know if it's faster, to be honest. I think it just looks cooler. It's definitely anytime that you can avoid crawling on the wall, that is oh my god, and Chuck with a frame perfect cutscene, which I barely get nowadays in my run, Spired. So yeah, we are moving into God pipes. Everyone place your bets on who is going to be not touch a pipe and get to the end, and who is going to die.
Yeah,
Let's
we
see how
saw in
that
the
goes.
highlights, Chuck did manage it his last run. So let's see if he can pull it off again and see if Felicia can do the same.
I'm hoping
Okay,
everybody
here we go. One.
prages in chat.
Going round.
Oh, and Felicia might have done it.
Okay,
Felicia
Felicia
has
sorted
done
it.
it. And Chuck might have a
Oh no, I can't
oh
believe it.
no. Chuck went for it. Was a little That's what happens whenever you're a
No.
little bit too low. You can't really judge it well from the last 3 pipes. You can't judge your height well, so you just have to have complete faith that you are going to make it.
Yeah,
So,
oh, I'm actually so good. It was looking so good, and it just
oh
couldn't
man.
quite clip that last swing at the end there. That's so
And
gutting.
so now Felicia and their iDog are now, oh, that is also okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
you can play it safe this time. Whoa.
Chuck, noticing that he is too low, has decided to, you know what? I'm going to take this slow. I'm not going to lose any more time. Which, by the way, God Pipes is actually not. It's not the ideal place to lose time, but in this race going up to Subway, it is something that if you are perfect for the rest of the run, you can definitely catch up to someone.
Yeah.
So, but now that we're in Subway, I can we're having Felicia do the hug the homie strat. I am pretty sure that Chuck knows the inside the homie strat, as we're calling it now. So we're going to see both strats just in general, one where you glitch inside a lizard and one where you're just hugging the homie. Oh,
Oh, it
wow.
didn't quite
Chuck
stick for
could
him.
not get it. I don't know if does Chuck know the reset? Chuck does not know the reset. So we are getting hug the homie off right now.
We get a
That
double.
pause.
Ooh, we get shoulders on the homie. Let's go. Like
Yep.
that. Like that.
He had to mount the homie. Oh.
Mount the homie. Brilliant. Okay, that's definitely what we're calling that.
um, but okay, so since couldn't be here at the start, Spyron, what are you thinking of the run so far? I see that it's very close, but were there any major mess ups that you saw, or anything that could be improved, or just how are you thinking of the runners overall?
Yeah, to be fair, it's been really, really competitive all the way through. Scorpion looked a bit sketchy for Felicia, but did still manage the one cycle, which put him pretty much even. Chuck just getting it through a bit faster, put him ahead at that point, but not by much. Chuck did go for his Flying Spider as well and scale the girders, but it unfortunately didn't pay off again. Didn't quite manage to swing properly to not catch the construction site, so just opted for the regular strat instead. Other than that, everything's been, yeah, pretty neck and neck, barring Chuck's unfortunate death on the level before this. So it's been really good, really competitive so far, and I think the skips now are going to make all the difference. No!
Yes. Oh my
Chuck!
God.
He's
No
done a Jesse!
way.
He's done a
Oh
Jesse!
man. Everyone, if you have the Oh My Days emote, or if you don't, just spam Oh My Days in the chat. That is unfortunate. We did have a
No!
runner previously in the first round also have that happen to him. That was Stop Jesse, who also had that happen. It's really weird. I haven't seen Subway take this many lives.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy. So there's clearly a point where when you grab the lizards, that if you like fall slightly just in between the kind of gap where the link of the train meets the actual train, there's clearly enough of a gap there for Spider-Man to fall through, which is really, really unfortunate and shouldn't exist, really. It's very sad that that does exist. But
I
yeah,
mean,
that
hey,
puts...
this game was made with duct tape and paper clips, so I understand.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I'm a bit scared for Chuck because he's kind of in the same position now where he's having to hug the homies again and he's getting dangerously close to that area.
And
But
Felicia gets the zip first try,
yeah,
and
Felicia
we
flying through.
are
And we get the zip at the
through.
end. Okay, an improvement over last time as well. We noted in the highlights that Felicia got through first time but didn't do a zip there at the end of that level. So good to see that Felicia has done that this time. Very good, very good.
Yeah, so we're starting to see a lot of improvement from these runners just in general. Like, just going through. We can't really. Sorry if we're not talking about Chuck as much. We can't really talk about Chuck while he is on Subway because there's really not a lot to talk about.
Indeed. Oh, Felicia misses the
Oh,
trigger.
wow. So that's what Zoe was actually talking about during the last runs, is that going for hidden switches strat, this one, not the one that I use, which is over the terminals and glitching through, actually has a chance to miss the barrier or for you to fall out completely. So it is a harder strat than
Nice.
people give it credit for.
Yeah, second time looking for Felicia there, manages to hit the trigger. It can be unfortunate. Yeah, if you have to be quite quick, I feel like, really just kind of almost always pushing forward to make sure you definitely hit that trigger straight away. Because if you leave it too late, you'll do as Felicia did the first time there, where didn't quite catch the trigger to end the level. Now, tunnel crawl was a question we were asking for both competitors. Neither one made it through the first time in a one cycle. Felicia looking to attempt that this time. Got some
And
good zips.
Felicia is looking good on that front. Oh, and got the 3 zips down, or the 4 zips down. So Felicia actually can just crawl this, but hey, look at that. All the zips required to get through. For
Nice.
anyone who doesn't know, during tunnel crawl, as Chuck is finishing up Subway, anyone who doesn't know, all you need is 1 zip on the straightaway, and then all of the zips in the middle on that little hump that you see, and you can just crawl the rest of the way. But now we have Felicia not going for tunnel crawl skip and going for the normal, while Chuck, we are entering honestly, this clip is harder than a lot of people give it credit for.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you have to be really good at like visually seeing where the line kind of slightly dips inside and dips down and backwards a little bit. That's kind of the visual indicator as to when you know you've got through. But yeah, Chuck does that straight away. Really nice.
And Felicia's entering Spire and Puzzle right now, while Chuck is now entering Hidden Switches. So
okay, what are the chances we see anyone else pull off the Fetty fall in this level throughout this tournament? I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm probably I kind of want to try it. So
okay,
there might be a thing, but I know you're going to against the run against me.
Of course, of course.
But we do not see a double button from Felicia. We see the standard buttons go through. We're also seeing Chuck have a hard time getting through, but finally makes it through. So, like, I will say this to anyone in chat who has never played Spider-Man before. Spider-Man is on tank controls and barely targets where you want to go. So if you haven't been watching as Felicia enters into Maze, just trying to get certain zips and trying to get certain mechanics to work as Chuck gets that first zip. Looking for another one here whenever Chuck does not need to, but I understand the safety of it.
Yeah, going to attempt some more zips on this second half. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, we got to watch this.
Oh, it's looking good. Looking good.
All he has to do is crawl now, but that's perfect. I think Chuck is doubting himself. I think Chuck is doubting himself, but he is totally perfect. Yeah, it's fine.
Let's go.
Like I said, people don't understand it doesn't take as many zips as you need to if you need to take a safer strat. We might see Chuck go for tunnel crawl here because Chuck has been posting a whole bunch. Oh, he's thinking about it.
He's thinking about it.
He's thinking about it. Oh, we're gonna see a flying spider attempt as Felicia is having trouble getting through the wall to get clipped, but finally does, and we are off.
Oh, what the? I've never seen it do that before. It swings you backwards. That's crazy. Okay,
he was holding down the swing button, so that's what happened. He probably let go. Damn. But Felicia is looking fantastic going into Venom 2 as Chuck is on the back burner, but Chuck's movement, don't doubt Chuck's movement. Chuck is on point right now. So
yeah, and you've got to respect the attempts as well, for sure.
Exactly.
With the skips. So hopefully these skips will all pay off for him later as well.
So as you guys can see, everybody has made it. He is in Spire and Puzzle right now, while we're gonna see if Felicia gets lucky. At least 3 spawns, or at least 2 good spawns are usually the luck factor. No double button. Oh, perfect spawn for Felicia, and no double button attempt for Chuck. It is a little hard to get you lined up, and we have 2 perfect spawns for Felicia.
This is looking real good.
Could we get a third? Because that's my PB.
Yeah. Oh, that's
and we get a third.
Wow. Okay, for the second time this tournament, we get a perfect 3 Venom. That's crazy.
And if I know Felicia is freaking out right now, and that is their gold split right there. So you 100%. Just witnessed a gold. You just witnessed a gold split right there.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't spell good news for Chuck, as Chuck obviously trying to catch up at this point.
Oh, those zips though.
Oh, not again.
But the death. Trying to go for the no look. Sometimes you got to realize that you are not Spyron in this game, and there's a reason that we don't like Spyron's individual level attempts. And Felicia letting the drop go just to get the skip. I don't think I've ever seen bigger IQ in my life as Felicia. It's the is it stop the presses? No, it's the bugle skip, aka the old man Burke, as some people like to call it. So, yeah, this is
Felicia going for the out of bounds. Here we go. Lands it perfectly.
We got to see how this goes. Yep. And perfect setup while Chuck is struggling getting the zips that he needs, unfortunately. And that was just a beautiful elevator. Now let's see if Chuck can actually pull it together on the lizard maze.
No. Oh, no.
Okay. And that's what we in the business call a YOLO maze, to try to save time. You saw Chuck do it last time, where Chuck swung all the way through and tried to get a glitch out. So now now you're seeing the consequences of those actions. And I'm telling you, Venom maze, or it's not lizard maze. Yeah, lizard maze is a trouble for a lot of runners, because this is where we would usually reset if we messed up.
Yeah.
But we are
Lizard.
seeing such a good
Oh,
run
missed
from
the skip.
Felicia. Oh, wow.
Felicia missed the trigger at the end there. That was unfortunate. I think got caught on the edge of the garage door, which isn't ideal because it means you have to climb a bit higher to fall into the right position. Ideally, you don't want to just fall straight down there.
I
So
will
I think,
say, I think Felicia's still on PB pace no matter what, though, at this point,
yeah, it's
because
looking real
Felicia's been
good.
playing perfect. That's spells unfortunate news for
Oh,
Chuck,
all
but
right, there you go, Chuck.
there's what I was talking about. There's the YOLO swing into Lizard or into Venom too.
Okay, Chuck, you can see is not not very happy with how it's going at the minute, but he'll soldier on, and you never know. I mean, it's still possible to come back from this deficit at the minute. You never know what could
Definitely.
happen.
I mean, there's always there's one cycle Ock, there's Felicia going for basement, but Felicia's going for fire cartridges right now.
It looks like, yeah,
Um,
down to 2 cartridges at the start of this level, and obviously thinking, I guess, ahead of time that she's going to need some more cartridges. So opting
but
to
cannot
grab
get
these. Oh no!
unstuck because symbiotes
Oh,
are
okay,
awful.
I was
Um,
a bit scared they got caught
I
in the fire then.
yeah. So that means Felicia's going to attempt. They are going to attempt basement as we wait for Chuck to finish Venom. Yep, and there goes the restart because it is quicker to restart than to watch the cutscene. First spawn, unfortunate, it is across the way, but that is better than it spawning on the sides.
Let's go.
So we will take those.
Let's go. Next one, across the side again. Let's
Across the
see.
side.
Can you get the jump?
We are
Yes,
hoping
beautiful.
we are hoping for what if in this situation you're either hoping for behind you or lined up to where you can shoot web balls.
Brilliant.
Felicia going for the right side here, as a lot of people as Chuck gets that last Venom. A lot of people think the right side is easier. I'm on the fence. I think the left side is easier, and it looks
I
like
would agree.
Felicia got the basement skip. I don't think I've ever seen
Oh,
Felicia get basement skip. So Felicia getting basement skip is huge
oh, and
for
lands the
this
jump
run.
as well. Always a scary jump at the end there. Because
It's
that
a very
stupid wall that's just sat there. It's so annoying. But
Right. So Chuck, as we know from last time, does not know the skip for or at least isn't comfortable enough with the skip for Bugle. So we're going to see a no skips route for Chuck in this one. As Felicia goes to my favorite level, my world famous Mysterio here. We can, and since y'all can basically see the no skips route, what are we thinking so far? Like where do you think that this run can take a turn?
yeah, it's going to be tricky here. Really, it comes down to, I assume, a lot of Waterfront Warehouse next. If Felicia can land the skip first try, like they did in their first race, then
Mm-hmm.
it might be good night for Chuck, unfortunately. That's really the only massive time save that can, I think, come next, apart from maybe a one-cycle Dr. Octopus if either one lands it and the other one doesn't. But again, it's minuscule time saves at this point, realistically. It's going to be a close one.
Unfortunately, it's
Yeah.
minuscule time saves. I mean, the thing is you wouldn't think it'd be a minuscule time save on Ockets, but it is about 40 to 50 seconds, which in the grand scheme of and Chuck fails elevator.
Yeah,
So
going for the restart instead.
this is just one of those runs, I guess.
Yeah,
So
it's unfortunate. You know he's going to be upset about this one as well, because I know he's been putting in the practice as well, and just have it go wrong. I mean, the subway really was like the crazy, like, silly thing that happened that shouldn't have happened, but it did, and was hard to recover from at that point. And I think Chuck, as a result of that, probably took some more riskier strats and risky options just to try and
I
pull the
would
time back. But oh, Felicia, okay, not landing the trigger.
Hey, I have that comic. Anyway, the thing is that sorry, chat, I have to say that, but another thing that I'm noticing is that Chuck isn't adjusting where he is trying to zip out from. I zip out from over top of the headlight because it's a little bit of an easier thing to line up, and we're seeing Felicia take the kid mode strat just to be safe, and yeah, so maybe Chuck needs to make an adjustment or just
Oh, here we
do
go.
failure. Oh, there we go. Never mind. I lied. As Felicia's going for the skip, we are going to see
No,
it
misses
doesn't
it
look like
again.
it.
Okay, right. Well, this is Chuck's opportunity now to try and catch up.
This is huge. Like Chuck may have 4 levels separating them, but if Felicia keeps going for this skip as a last nope, here
Nope. Yeah.
we see the
Okay.
no skips happen. The main thing is though is that this level and stopping the fog are actually really long levels if you don't skip them. It's kind
Mm.
of like the sewer entrance. It's a very long level if you do not intend to skip it. So it's one of those things that Chuck still has that time to catch up,
Oh,
and
oh.
we will see how that works.
No. Oh,
Misses
slightly
it.
too low on the garage door again. Same as Felicia.
So this one, I don't want to go ahead and commentate curse GGs, but unless something crazy happens, if Felicia just needs to play normal, it can take all the safe strats, and we should be seeing a Felicia game here.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. You've got to feel for Chuck. Like the subway, especially, man. I can't believe the subway. We got the subway fall again. It's so unfortunate, and something that's just like completely really out of your hands. It's not something that you can really prevent because that strat. I
Right.
mean, ideally, you just don't stand in that position, which is what you want to be doing. But if you're kind of stuck there and it happens, then it's just unlucky, isn't it? But
Let's see if Felicia actually goes for my strat on Vince just to pick up some Spidey armor. And if you go for the comic here, this is something that nobody knows. If you go for the comic here, then you will get some extra web cartridges.
see, I
But
think
it
that's
does
what.
not look like that.
Yeah, I think that's what Felicia was trying to do. Felicia went to go grab the fire cartridges, but truth be told, doesn't actually give you any actual web cartridges, only just converts them to fire cartridges. So went for that one and was still landing at zero as Chuck. Oh
And Chuck
no,
misses
unfortunately misses the swing.
basement.
Oh, it's just really not going his way today. You've got a real feel for him. It's crazy.
Unfortunately, at this point, I would cut my losses, go say hey to Mike, and try to hit the cutscene skip, and let's see how far you can actually push this run. Because I mean, Chuck is doing well, like comparatively to their PBs. They're both doing very well
Yeah,
comparatively
it
to
looks
their
like he's heard
PBs.
you. He's taking the advice. Yeah, he's going straight for the no skips route instead.
Okay, so if anybody doesn't know, this is a fun fact of trivia. While Felicia is on lasers, that this symbiote up here is the nickname from the community is Mike. So if you want to say hey to Mike, you guys can get the game and go ahead and say it to Mike. Say hey to Mike yourself.
Now let's see. Can he manage the cutscene skip? Quite quick, it looks
He's got
like.
it. He's got
Yeah,
it. He's
very
got it.
quick. Oh no, it
He
wasn't
didn't.
quite
He
fast
didn't
enough. Never
swing.
mind.
Oh, you're gonna have the full animation too. Oh, unfortunate.
Oh,
Because
that's real
Spider-Man will
unfortunate.
still do the animation no matter what.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, unfortunately, got kind of like the strange animation that you get where you kind of like jump into a swing, which slowed him down a bit too much before then jumping past the cutscene trigger. So, yeah, unfortunate there again. Game's
as
really
chat
not. Hey, yeah.
as runners in chat are saying that they didn't know we called him Mike, and it's all over our VODs, but it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, no. So we're seeing Felicia taking a commanding lead here. I honestly, unless Felicia dies on Monster Rock about 40 times, this might be a Felicia race.
Yeah. Chuck opting for the FPS version of this level to get through Mysterio nice and quick. So at the very least, Mysterio's still looking very smooth for Chuck. Not going to mess around on there. Now, I really hope he still goes for the waterfront warehouse skip,
Same.
because that'll be a nice bit of redemption for him at the end to say
Hold on,
that
I gotta
he can
say
hit
it
that
while
first
everyone's
try.
looking at Chuck. While everyone's looking at Chuck. Whatever. I have that comic.
Oh, wow. I never guessed. Yeah, wow. Crazy, actually.
But yeah, no. I do want to see what happens with Chuck's run here. So
Yeah,
like,
here we go.
I want to see how much Chuck can pull out in a short amount of time. As we see Felicia enter Doc Ock, we do see a immediate skip out. He is lined up, contrary to popular belief, and we shall see if this hits.
He does. Oh, look at it. He's loving
Let's
it. Yes, the
go.
redemption arc. He gets
That's
that at
what I'm
least.
talking about. I hope I have that in my race. But all right. So here we go. We have Felicia on Doc Ock, which if anyone wants to know, Felicia was talking up a big game about one cycling Doc Ock. I don't know if Felicia will go for the one cycle just because of the 3 cartridges. I would, because this is the more time-consuming fight than Carnage.
Mm.
But Chuck has literally the perfect amount of cartridges. Like there is no better cartridge to have than 5 cartridges going into Stop the Fog, because you will end up with 6. So going into Doc Ock, you will have 6 cartridges. It only takes 1 cartridge really to defeat Doc Ock, and you're good. And we're seeing Felicia
Oh,
try it. All Felicia needs to do is get one more hit off, and if Felicia does not know this, the thing here is that you can kill from web balls from this distance, but I think Felicia is going to panic. Just just commentator, oversight, right? I would be panicking in this situation as a runner, not knowing if I did enough damage to actually web ball and kill. So we might be seeing another combo here.
Yeah, I mean, interestingly, to be honest, Chuck realistically not that far behind now. So, I mean,
Honestly, yeah.
realistically, if anything goes wrong from this point onwards, if Carnage plays up now for Felicia, which is kind of what Chuck's banking on, hopefully, if happening, Chuck could
Hmm.
pull this back very slightly. I mean, it's a big shot. It's a big,
I mean, it's
yeah,
not because
it's
Chuck
not
is flying through Stop the Fog right now.
opting for web domes. Good strat. Kills
Yeah, that's
monster,
perfect.
Doctor Octopus
That
there, yeah.
that was perfect. So the thing is that there's two things that can happen right now. Felicia could get stressed out at the ending here and mess up on Monster Ock, or Carnage can play dumb.
Oh, the
But it looks
swag.
like we're going for swag Carnage. One of
Okay,
those.
lineup's a bit off though
Oh,
here. Ah, yeah,
ah,
jumps out. Okay, gets the swag, but swag again.
and
Oh, nearly.
won't get the swag. You can't get the swag from that close, unfortunately. So we see Chuck going into Doc Ock while Carnage is not playing nice for
I
Felicia.
think that's fine though. Position now. Yeah. Oh no, locked. No, not
No,
quite
it's
locked in. I
not.
thought it was. Crazy,
All right,
actually.
so we have Carnage acting up for Felicia. This one should be actually on point if you just move a little bit.
There we
So
go. That
yeah,
should be fine
here it
now.
is. Yep.
Okay.
So we have a giant mess up on Carnage and actually a mess up on Doc Ock. If Chuck hits a one cycle here, it is a way closer game than people actually think it is. So, oh wow. Same.
Wow.
I've made this mistake. I have made the same mistake where you think Carnage is dead and Carnage is not dead.
That pixel. Grab the magnifying glass out. There was a pixel there still. Who would have guessed?
Yeah. Hey, judge.
Yeah. Can we get
Someone call
VAR?
a judge.
VAR on that, please?
I need an instant replay. Okay, yeah. So we are now entering Monster Ock for Felicia. Felicia looks like they're down in time, but still a very good run on this one. Let's see if they can close it out. And we have Chuck. I'm guaranteeing you Chuck goes for one cycle. Web
don't
Glove's
think
a
it's gonna
little
pay
late,
off.
but you also
Yeah,
can. It's gonna be
Yeah.
the same thing.
The unfortunate thing
for
there
Chuck.
was, if you noticed, so the way the one cycle Doctor Octopus works is you can't have him in an animation, either the attacking animation or laughing animation. I think Chuck caught the button just as he was going into the attack animation or at the end of the attacking animation, and so that slows him down considerably as to when he gets sucked up and then drops into a position where you can actually attack him, which means you've much less time and is impossible at that point basically to do one cycle just because it doesn't give you enough time. So something to keep an eye on and something to keep note of when you're doing your runs. Make sure that Dr. Octopus is stood still, not mid-animation, and that's when you want to hit the button.
You want, and if he starts laughing after he hits you, you want to wait for the moment that arm goes down from him laughing, like
Yeah.
one of his arms go down, and then you're good. Oh, we're seeing a combo. That is a ballsy move from Chuck, but it pays off. And we are seeing Chuck enter in Carnage while Felicia is about a quarter of a way through Monster Rock. So unless something terrible happens, we are about to see the two runners honestly finish around the same time.
So we're seeing Chuck. See if
Chuck going for the
Carnage
opting.
plays nice. Oh no, throws. Oh, okay, recovers it.
Oh, whoa.
Oh no, straight against same position. Oh,
Panic.
Yeah,
Panic ensued.
the turning when you're in the grab position is so awkward just because it spins either so much more or so much less than I think often you want it to.
Oh,
so
he
it
might
can be
be
so
locked.
awkward.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
He got out of the
right,
lock.
straightforward now.
Perfect.
And that should, yeah, all right. Recovers nicely.
I honestly think that Chuck was freaked out that he could grab again during the hit animation. So, like, probably didn't know what to do, probably freaked out. But Chuck, graceful as he is under pressure, figured it out. So, and for anybody who doesn't know, basically, we just if you can just keep Carnage stun locked, like by trapping him in a corner like this, or by shooting just one strand of web at a time to keep him inside of the dome, the supersonic dome, then that is the way you damage Carnage. I did not know that as a kid, so it took me forever. I punched, punched Carnage for 1 health each, it's like 1% of health each. So
I'm trying to figure out. I don't remember the Carnage level particularly as a kid. I'd like to.
Oh,
think
wait.
yeah,
we have
but no.
Felicia. We have Felicia here.
There we go.
And I'm on Felicia with a 39-13.
GG. I think we call that 39. I'd probably say more close to 15. I think there was like a 2-second delay in starting the time at the very beginning, but still
Gotcha.
ahead of time in comparison to Chuck. So Chuck will take the second place in this race. Felicia moving on in and up
But
the bracket. Very
but
exciting. Very exciting.
Chuck may have taken second place in this race, but Chuck not second place in our hearts. We are I'm like, at least from the time that since I was late, at least from the time that I have been here, Chuck has been performing very, very well. And Felicia with the Daytona USA.
See, Felicia in chat, Twitch chat right now, obviously Twitch chat, as you will see, forgot to turn disc speed on. Do you know, I wondered, the load times did seem really slow in comparison to Chuck, and I thought, oh, maybe it's just like a hardware thing, and the emulator is just slightly faster, but okay, it turns out the fast disc speed was just never on, which
But that's
then
also why
just,
you got that, you have, like, that more time that shield was up for Doc Ock. That's what I was wondering, is that the shield, took a longer time for it to come down on the animation that they hit. So, yeah, like, I honestly, I can't tell you, I didn't even notice was, like, the load times being that much of a difference, but
yeah,
I can now that you've said it, it did feel slow.
yeah, it was definitely more noticeable at the very beginning when they were like neck and neck, and you could see Chuck could fly through like a loading screen much faster, and there'd be still like 2 seconds before then Felicia would get in. So that makes sense now. That makes sense now as to why that happened.
Everything makes sense. And there's Felicia showing off the best costume in the game, Spider-Man Unlimited. If you have not seen that TV show, please go watch it. It needs a reboot. It is one of the best TV shows of all time for
Bro,
Spider-Man.
I hope we're getting. I mean, we've got X-Men reboot coming. I hope we're getting a Spider-Man reboot at some point. Like
The
we need
creator
to.
said that they were willing to do it. So
Yeah, so hopefully we get something like that. That'd be crazy. Do you know? I never actually watched Spider-Man Unlimited as a
you
kid.
need to. It's actually
Yeah.
it's really good. It's about the high evolutionary, dude. Like
Yeah,
it's really good.
there's a lot of like the story that I've just completely missed because I just never watched it. I'm trying to think. It must have been on. I assume it must have been on over here for us, in the UK.
Well, as we're
But
talking about Spider-Man Unlimited, Chuck is getting to the end of the run. We are on the last corner. Let's see how
there we
Chuck
go.
goes, and that is time at a 41:55. I
I
think
think
is what that
yeah,
was.
I think I was 55. Yeah, right. GG.
So
There we go.
GG's to Chuck. Congratulations. That was not a bad time for how you were running. So congratulations.
Yeah, right. And here he
And
is, Chuck,
there
right
comes
now.
Chuck for the post game.
Chuck, man,
Chuck is muted.
he's muted at the minute, but we can talk to him at least for the time being. And
Yeah, I'm here.
there we go. Perfect. Chuck, I'm so gutted. The subway was just not your friend today. That was crazy that he actually threw you through the subway.
I cannot believe that just about every major skip that I attempted went cockeyed in some way, except for Waterfront Warehouse.
And that's where it matters. That's all that counts. Yeah. Yeah, really unfortunate, honestly. I appreciate that you still went for the skips, even like though you had some unfortunate ones beforehand. I think the determination, the grit to see the skips through, though, I think it still shows a lot of character. So I appreciate that. And I'm sure that everyone watching appreciates still that you went for
Byron,
those.
that's what we call in the business a heart of gold
Hell
and
yeah.
the courage to go and continue doing it until you win. It's not insanity, trust me, chat. But Chuck, I actually have a question. So you were neck and neck with Felicia, actually. Literally up till Subway. Like we can talk about it. Like Subway, you guys were about, I want to say, or up until God Pipes, really. God Pipes were where, the death
Yep.
on God. Can we talk about the death on God Pipes? What was going through your head? Did you think that you were too low, or did you just think that, oh, I can make the rest of these?
You may have seen from my video feed, I was shouting, I got greedy. I got greedy. I was low, but I thought I need to make up some time. And yeah, that's where it just went all sideways.
Unfortunately, you were ahead at that point, so you did not need to make up any time. So you were
Yeah.
ahead at that moment. So, but I will say the train did mess you up because you came into the train about 40 seconds after Felicia came into the train, and I'm sure you would have had a really good chance. But then Felicia, speaking of Felicia, hello Felicia. Speaking of
Hello.
Felicia at that point started hitting every single skip without fail, including bugle skip, which I am very proud of you for. Give me your thoughts on that bugle skip, because I know that you were panicking the minute that first swing did not, or that second swing did not, or first swing did not take you far enough, and you had to wait to zip.
Oh, I've had that happen to me so many times that it didn't really worry me. I was like, oh, I got the weird swing, a weird thing, no problem. So I guess I just learned to. I feel like it's, yeah, like if I fail it, I've got a backup strat or I know what to do when it fails. So I wasn't worried about that. What I was worried about was Waterfront Warehouse, which you saw I had to take the normal route because it just was not agreeing with me today.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. I think 2 attempts before then you opted for
Yeah,
the no skips route.
yeah, it was 2 attempts.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What was it? Do you think that went wrong? Do you think it was just positioning? Do you think you just panicked like in the moment? Like, what do you think
Probably
went wrong there?
positioning because both times I thought I was in the right spot, and then it just didn't work. So it was probably a positioning thing, or maybe I just had the incorrect perception of where I was.
Those things will end up causing some time loss on those. Trust me from experience. But yeah, like I'm actually very proud of you two. The whole time, Spyron can tell you, the minute I joined commentating and watching, I can tell you that both of y'all ran your hearts out. Even though the times weren't the same as the first times, I could tell that this one really meant something to you guys. So I have a couple more questions. Spyron, and do you have any questions?
I guess.
Well, actually, do you guys
Oh, go on.
mind if I make a comment before I ask the
Please,
questions?
yeah, please do.
Did you see my message in the Twitch chat?
Yes, yeah, we've talked
We
about that.
did.
Yeah, right at
We
the end.
did.
Fastest speed. You know, I was saying in commentary, yeah, I thought at the very beginning, I did wonder, like, I'm sure Chuck's getting through these loading zones a bit faster. I wasn't sure if that was just like a hardware thing, or then it turns out it was the fastest speed all
Nope.
along. Yeah.
I didn't realize I forgot to turn fast disk speed on until I accidentally clicked yes to save, and I noticed it was taking a while to get out of the menu, and I was like, "Oh crap! I forgot to turn on FDS." So between that and Chuck's unfortunate falling at a Subway, I will say this: if you want a rematch, Chuck, I will gladly give it to you because I think this match definitely deserves a do-over for both of us.
And I would love to see that, and I would love to commentate it as well.
Hey, if it pops up in the tournament bracket, I'm looking forward to it too. For now, I'm
Cool.
just gonna play Toy Story 2.
Nice.
Hey, on the Genesis?
Oh,
No, on the PS1. It should be streaming right now.
Oh, let's go.
okay.
Hold on. Let's cut the tournament screen. Cut to the
I
tournament
can
screen.
actually teach you that run
Hell
if you
yeah.
wanted.
Bro, do you know,
Hey,
I'm
actually,
Toy
doing more
Story
casual.
2.
legit, I just downloaded this on the PC the other day because I thought, you know, I'd quite like to learn this as a speedrun. So maybe, guys,
Nice.
we need a Toy
It's an
Story 2
interesting
tournament going
game.
on. Yeah.
We need to have a
Yeah.
Toy Story running going on. Cancel the spider event. We're doing Toy Story. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
My question for both of y'all is, as we progress further in the seating bracket, and a lot more of us get practice, a lot more of us get rusty. Is there any problems that you guys foresee for you guys' runs? Anything that you guys notice that is just like, hey, I need to work on this?
Hmm. That is a good question. Definitely
Well,
consistency works to a degree. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Chuck.
no, you're fine. Go ahead.
I was
I'll
gonna say
save my thoughts for a second.
consistency needs work on my end. I probably need to refresh myself on some of the tricks. I think another big thing I need to do is there's still some modern tech I haven't incorporated yet. Most notably, uh, the new strat for Venom's puzzle or the new hidden switches skipped. I don't know either of those, so I really need to get those in. Also, knowing where to zip, I think Monster Rock could have been better had I known all the appropriate spots to zip versus swing. And there's a lot of other levels where I feel that way too.
How about you, Chuck? Any places you think that you need improvement, or you're going to be working on as you face different competitors and as we run through this bracket?
I'd say, I think the big obvious one, and I think after seeing a few of the other races, this is probably true of a lot of others. But I mean, Waterfront Warehouse for sure
Right.
uh, is is where I need the most practice, at least for me. I can't believe I got it first try this time,
Yeah, that was
but
sick. Yeah.
but I'd say the uh, the other one, after seeing the last two races I've run, I might need to take another look at hostage situation. I thought I finally got it down, and now uh I am having to save myself because I'm deloading the levels somehow.
Yeah,
So I need to be careful about
the
that.
full deload's interesting because, like, I mean, you demonstrated very, very well that you can recover from that position. It's just knowing, I guess, where to go and what to do when it does fully deload. But yeah, ideally you don't fully deload it and it becomes a bit easier. But yeah, that was a really good example of what you can do in that situation. That was really well played, actually, really early on in the game.
Thank you.
Spire, do you have any questions for our competitors?
Well, I guess as a kind of preview going into your next matches, so Felicia, I guess, up first. You in round 3 will be up against the loser of either myself or Fetty. Is there anyone you'd rather face of the two of us?
Nope, both of you are
that's
scary
next
as
round.
AF.
Next round, the loser faces the winner of ours.
Yeah, so
Is that it?
the loser of our match faces Felicia in round 3.
Oh, okay. So whoever won
Both
this
of you
match.
are basically, you might as well ask me, would I rather fight Nemesis or would I rather fight Pyramid Head? So,
Sound okay.
I
Who's
mean,
who?
I
Wait,
I
who's who?
fancy myself as more of a Jill. All right, so
but I'm saying you both are scary monsters when it comes to this game because you're both so good. And look, I still remember the tech for this game.
Let's go. Hey, look, we're both
very
on the
nice.
game. Let's go. Look at this, guys. Okay, very nice. So, Chuck,
Can we cut away so people don't get distracted by
Yeah.
Toy Story?
Yeah, sorry.
You're fine.
that's all right.
I
No, this is
couldn't
good.
help
This is good.
myself because Chuck did it.
Fetty, now that you say that you're more of a Jill, I'm
Mhm.
gonna keep that in mind for your run against Spyron because if you just barely eke out the victory, I'm gonna say, oh man, he was almost a Jill sandwich.
Facts. Let them know.
Now,
I mean, I'm taking on a nemesis for my run, so
oh, wow, guys. Resident Evil went?
I mean, hey, if you want to race Resident Evil, Spyro, I'm down.
Yeah, I need to. I'm really keen on learning a Resident Evil game, so I do need to.
All
do
right,
that at some point.
back to topic.
Anyway,
back to
back
topic.
to Spider Runs. So,
Yes.
Chuck, you will be facing the winner of either Stop Jesse or Crypto's match. How do you feel about their kind of runs going into their match coming up a bit later this week?
For their race specifically, I think any of these races can really be anyone's race because the one thing we know about Spider-Man is that he can be very mean to runners. But
True.
I think another aspect to keep in mind is that while Stop Jesse is fairly new, his times are improving a lot, and Crypto has been out of the scene for a hot minute. Uh, honestly, they weren't even Crypto wasn't even planning to participate in this tournament. So, with that in mind, I would not count either one out just yet. Uh, as far as who's going to win out is concerned. Now, as far as who I'd rather face after they're done, I think I would rather face Stop Jesse, to be honest.
Oh, interesting. Stop Jesse in the chat. I'm sure I'll be taking note of that, prepping accordingly
Because
should that
he's just
happen.
so nice.
Yeah, he is, and you both share now the fact that you both fell through the train together. So there's a bit of bonding that can go on there as well. Oh man,
Now I had to hug the homies when I prefer phasing through the friends.
yeah,
Is
damn.
it inside the homies? All right.
Yeah. I think you as well, Chuck. We had a bit of Mount the Homies as well, climbing on top of them at one point, so that was cool as well.
Yeah, you mash square a bunch and you just end up on top of them, and that can create
pause.
and that can you can end up with a weird situation since Spider-Man hops off of the enemy when he does that. So you have to be very careful when that happens.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Right. I believe that kind of wraps us up
that
then. Faye, any final thoughts from yourself? How do you envision the rest of this week going? Let's bring up the tournament kind of bracket and what we've got coming up next. What do you think of the rest of the matches then coming into the rest of this week?
So I'm not going to comment on our match because I think it's one of those matches that everyone wants to see. Just we thought we would see it later on in the tournament. But my match that I'm actually really excited for is Mons versus Nilo. I think
Mm.
that Mons versus Nilo is going to be closer than a lot of people think, especially because Mons has been pulling out all stops to make Mons is competitive, right? And Mons has been pulling out all stops to get ready for these matches. Another good one that I'm ready to see is Soda and Zoe because they are the veterans of this community. I may consider myself a veteran as well, but they're the two people who whenever I was starting to run, I wanted to be Zoe's no skip time. That was my goal. Ended up getting world record, but that's besides the case. Like I wanted to beat Zoe at the time, and then Soda, I wanted to beat him. So like as I said in the chat the other night, I'm a clone of Soda, and Soda's evil and stuff like that. But like Soda helped me out a lot, to grow into the runner that I am. So I'm really excited to see my two speed running, heroes for this game kind of face off.
Yeah,
And
that's cool.
then Nilo and Monch is also that's the match to look out for. If you're not excited for the big guns fighting, Saturday. If you're not excited for the big guns fighting on Saturday, then that Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday or Monday. That
That's
Monday,
Monday, March 11th. Yeah, Monday.
that Monday is going to be insane.
Yeah, and we've not mentioned it, but obviously Stop Jesse and Crypto, I think it'll be a really interesting one. That one especially just because Stop Jesse being the newest runner in the
Right.
kind of community, and Crypto being someone who's only just come back and has been out of the game for like 6 years. So that one really is all down to which ones have learnt the skips and will do the skips consistently, and who will land it on the day. So I think that'll be a really interesting one to see what skips get employed and what skips don't, as to who will then take the crown in that match. But yeah,
I would love to see that too, because Stop Jesse, as people know, is someone that I'm training and looking forward to see play throughout this tournament. So, I have to give some props to my Padawan.
of course, it's the only way. It's the only way and the right way. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that
It's
wraps
the
us up.
way.
This is the way. This is the way. That wraps us up, ladies and gentlemen, for tonight. You have just witnessed the Flying Felicia versus Chuck Nicey, with Felicia taking the victory here and moving on to round 3 as the victor and the highest seed. Once these matches all do conclude, we will be moving on to round 3, and that'll be the last round then before the bracket stage. But for the time being, we've still got the rest of round 2, which starts again on Friday. That starts right. No, Saturday. Saturday is March 9th. Yes, Saturday, with myself versus Willy Fetty starting up, followed promptly by Sotally versus Zoe, and then followed again promptly by Stop Jesse versus Crypto. So another triple threat coming to you guys on Saturday. Make sure you're around. Make sure you're ready. Grab your popcorn, get your drinks, because we're in for a long night of Spider-Man. In the meantime, though, take care, and may your skips always hit. Thank you very much, everyone.
That is big facts, and also shout out to Crypto for sponsoring and running this tournament.
Of course,
Can't thank Crypto enough for that. And that's good night from Willy Fetty.
That's Crypto as well, the runner, not the currency. Thank you. We're not sponsored by Crypto, but we are sponsored by
Crypto.com arena.
Crypto. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Take care.